Together is a satirical horror romance from writer-director Michael Shanks, making his feature directorial debut. Central couple are played by Dave Franco and Alison Brie, who are married in real life. Here, they are long-time boyfriend and girlfriend, Tim and Millie. They're currently living in the city, but they're on the eve of a move to the countryside where she's got a teaching job. He is a 30-something failed musician whose dreams of stardom have never come true. And he feels like the move to the country is kind of the final abandonment of those dreams. At their going away party, which all their friends are gathered, she gets down on one knee and proposes to him. And he just is completely flummoxed, which is completely the wrong response. And it's absolutely excruciating. Cut to them moving to their new countryside home, which is this place in lush woodlands. And as one of Millie's new workmates tells her, great trails. So they go on one such trail. They get completely lost, starts raining. They fall down a hole where they have to spend a rainy night together in this really sort of rancid pit. And when they get out, they find that after a period of being remote and distanced, to the point that when she proposed, he didn't know what to say, they are increasingly stuck together, literally. As the Spice Girls song that Millie loves so much, two becomes one with scrungy consequences, including buzzsaws. Here's a clip.
But imagine what you're about to do actually happening and tell me that's not going to make things way worse.
Whiskey for the pain. And as soon as we're separated, I'll sprint for the first aid kit. We have bandages, disinfectant, everything we need.
Oh, you're right-handed. Oh, God.
Actually, maybe that's enough of that.
Why?
I think I can feel your whiskey.
You're right-handed and drunk. Remember when you said you weren't holding me hostage?
Do you think I want to do this?
No, so don't.
We are out of time. We need to do this while the system. We have to. If we don't split now, it'll be much harder later.
There's got to be another way.
Many antecedents. Incidentally, before anyone says this, Mark Kermode always talks about other films when he's talking about film. Yeah, that's how it works. It's called contextualization, just to head that off at the pass. So many antecedents. Obviously, the body horror of David Cronenberg, the fleshy shuntings of Brian Usner's Society, and clearly, more recently, The Substance. It's also worth saying that, as I was just doing the research, there's been an alleged plagiarism case by the people behind a 2023 indie comedy Better Half, in which a couple have a one-night stand and then find themselves fused together. You can look into that if you want to. However, there have been sort of very strong statements from the makers of this film saying the case is without any merit. Anyway, I just flag it up. The most important thing is that, like all great horror films and like all great horror comedies and horror satire, obviously horror and comedy are very closely related, because the thing about the difference between laughing and screaming is it's very, very thin. In all of those things, scrunginess is basically metaphor made flesh. So the theme of the film really it's about codependence. It's about commitment. It's about what does it mean to be together, in inverted commas. What does it mean to find your other half? Like literally your other half. So while the effects of the film, you would have heard it to some extent from that clip in which, you can hear that their bodies were bonding in strange ways. The certificate from the BBFC is 15 for strong horror, violence, bloody images, sex, nudity, and language. Okay. There are outlandish elements, but the story is very down to earth and recognizable. I mean, anyone who has ever told their partner, in the words of perhaps the greatest song ever written, God only knows what I'd be without you, you'll know what this is about. It's that idea about I cannot exist without this other person. It's really entertaining. It's got a very good build-up, very convincing performances from the two leads. I mean, I know it's very reductive to say this, but it probably doesn't hurt that they are actually a couple, because you believe in them as a couple on screen, and you believe in them as a couple who've been together for a long time and who are having problems. And there's a great balance between laugh out loud moments and absolutely hide your eyes behind your hands because, you're having that reaction. Apparently it's filmed in Australia. 21, obviously not set there. 21 day shoot, moderate budget, which proves conclusively that if you have a good idea, if you have a good central theme, if a film is about something, you don't need huge amounts of time and huge amounts of money. And I thought the result was a scream in every sense. And I was thinking as I was coming out of it, how great that at the moment in UK cinemas, you've got Bring Her Back, you've got Weapons, and you've got this all playing at the same time. They're all really entertaining horror films, but films that are about something. Now, Bring Her Back is really kind of quite straight-faced, and Weapons has as you and I were talking about before, it has a kind of an element of slapstick comedy in it.
Yeah,
and this
surprisingly funny bits.
Yeah, surprisingly, like genuinely funny stuff in it, particularly after the arrival of a character around the midway point. And this is absolutely, it's a rom-com. It is a rom-com about what it means to be genuinely stuck on you, to be genuinely stuck with somebody, to say that thing, you are my other half, you complete me. And I mean that in the very real physical sense. And so the only thing I would say is don't call any of these films elevated horror. I hate that term. Because it kind of imagines that, there's horror and then there's elevated horror, which is about stuff. Yeah, all horror is about stuff. That's how it works. That's how the genre works. And I thought this did a really good job of taking a heartfelt theme about, two people joined at the hip, as it were, and going, but what if they were actually joined at the hip? And I thought it worked really well.